Mr. Kenneth, I agree with you entirely. I think every politician worth his salt will bring that as a statistic to say we have a call to action, and it is I who ought to be leader.
The difference is absolutely clear.
In that,
I have said, first of all, I'm your best choice for presidency. I have a plan to fix it. And I have said what my plan is made up about.
right, I'm going to give you another forum in which to say, I'm saying, again, in the world in which we live, let's take a president whom we all admire, Barack Obama of the United States. 4 years, within that time, maybe the only thing that he managed to pass was Obamacare. And that was in sort of blibs and blobs, and it's still suffering, not quite sure. And as he goes into a second term, daggers are drawn from the opposing Republican Party to block every move that he makes. Now, my understanding of American politics is not profound. I'm saying to you, Mr. Kenneth, in your first term, what one thing would constitute your legacy?
I have given.
One.
I have given. It
One.
will not be one because I have.
Top five. Which will come first?
Let me be open here.
Yes.
I have said I have a plan.
Yeah,
I have a plan.
and I'm asking, please,
I'm a doer.
and I'm asking,
I'm a doer
number
of,
one on the plan.
I'm a doer of fewer things that have more impact than many things that have no impact. I have said, in the first 3 to 4 years, I will sort out security, infrastructure, water, healthcare, and education reforms.
Big deal, Mr. Kenneth.
It's not a big deal
because it's taken us 3 years to build a flyover in Nairobi. 3 years infrastructure. 3 years to build a thing that goes round Westlands heading to Thika. 3 years. That's infrastructure. Health. Hospitals lacking medicines. Which of these are you going to prioritize? Security.
I have said, and I'll repeat it to you.
And Mr. Kenneth,
you have to give me a little time to understand because we will lose this.
I wish to find it again. I wish to find it again.
I have said I've given a timeline for what I want to do up to 4 years. I have given a total breakdown of how I intend to fix security, how I will carry out reforms, how I will get equipment for the police force, how I will ensure they are enabled to carry out their duties. You're forgetting I grew up in this city when there was police visibility. I have said how I will decentralize fuel levy funds so that we can grow our infrastructure. I have said what I will do on the water sector because we need irrigation for food security within 3 to 4 years. I have said in my plan, I will put another 45 referral hospitals within 3 years so that we have referral hospitals, we have doctors, we have equipment, we have drugs. I have said we need to reform the education system so that we have quality education. But more important, within 3 years, each county will have a national polytechnic to take care of the 72% kids who do not make it to campus.
Mr. Kenneth, may I choose one of those topics which is dear to me as an educationalist? Education.
Yes.
Would you like to enunciate on this forum what the plan is for education?
I have said, first of all,
in terms of brass tacks, we'll do this.
You have asked me,
yes,
that's what I want to answer you.
Yes.
I have said, first of all, we have universal education for kids.
Right.
And I have said we need to reform it so that we have quality, so that we know the ratio of kids and teachers is what is acceptable. We know that we have adequate classrooms for those kids. I have said I want to reform the entire dropout rate at Form 4. Because right now we can go up to Form 4 on free education. But what do you do thereafter? You need to enhance their skills. That's why I've said we'll have a national polytechnic.
You might need money.
Yes.
Where will you get it from?
Ask me about it. Jerry Maguire says, show me the money.
Yes.
And I will tell you this. 10 years ago, this country raised 180 billion in terms of revenue. The total recurrent expenditure was 160 billion. We are raising today 800 billion. The total recurrent expenditure is 850. We are living beyond our means.
What does that mean to the layman?
I worked in Treasury.
What if
You
those
asked me where.
I'm asking you
I have
explain.
I have to answer you.
For me, who doesn't understand
I
economics,
think you have
you
have to allow me to answer you. Where is the money to do the things I said? Then you can ask your question.
Right. I think at every turn I have allowed you and stepped back and allowed you to speak.
But you asked me where is the money.
Yes.
I want to show you where is the money.
Then I said I don't understand recurrent expenditure has gone down.
I will answer you if you give me a little time.
All the time you want.
850 is our recurrent expenditure. I want to put it to you that if we tighten our belts, we can save from recurrent expenses between 150 billion to 180 billion. I worked in the Treasury. I know it well. And I'm going to do it. You can save on international travel. You can save on local seminars and local travel. You can save on vehicle maintenance if you are to have a better transport policy for officers, and you will save your 150 billion, which you'll put into the sectors I just told you we must fix in the next 5 years.
Enough time?
You can ask the next question.
The next question will be about security.
Yes.
Take us along a line of thinking about security, because I would say to you that our borders are too porous to be adequately managed by anybody in any government, including your own.
I think we have invested well in our armed forces, and therefore the threat from our external borders is not such a big issue. The threats that we have are internal because of a high rate of unemployment. I have said this. In 1974, Kilimani police station had 20 police cars. 18 were on duty. They had to patrol 200 kilometers every night. 2 were reserve cars. What is the situation in Kilimani police station today? It's about 4 vehicles, 1 personalized for the OCPD, 3 on patrol on 20 liters of gas. The population in 1974 was about 10 million in Kenya. Population today is 41. So it can't work. You have to invest more in terms of equipment. You have to invest more in terms of the police force. You have to invest more in reforming the police force itself. I opposed the current police reforms in 2011 because I felt they were not going to be right if they were presided over by the same police officers at the helm. Because for you to carry out reforms and changes, you need somebody who has not been part of that force.
So you'd sack all the current cops?
I said reforms have to be carried out. You can bring external teams and carry out reforms and weed out the bad elements. Remember, our police force, most of them have done wonderful piece of work. But remember, they are limited, completely limited in equipment. They are not enabled, and therefore they become incapacitated when they want to carry out duties. Even in 1974, a car had to do 20 kilometers of night patrol within a given area of Kilimani. And today you don't have that vehicle and the population is 15 times more. What does that tell you? We lost it. That's what I want to fix.
Mr. Kenneth, we've been talking in terms of perhaps you and you alone. Again, in the Western dispensation, you would be talking about a shadow cabinet and all the technocrats that you already see who would carry out your policies. Do you have, without necessarily naming them, do you have such a grouping in mind? Do you have the dream team that's going to be part of your administration, or will you form it after the event?
I can tell you this. We've taken the American system in our constitution, and all those names will go for confirmation in Parliament. We've been working on those names, and we do have them. We know that the next cabinet is limited to between 14 and 22. I don't think we'll go for 22. I'm working on a figure of 20. And the same with principal secretaries. So you're talking of a dream team of about 40, And yes, we've been working on the names and the people and doing research on their background.
Will we save some money by not obliging every one of us to have a picture of you on our walls?
There are many things I would love to do. I'd love to demystify the presidency.
But will you? You could
Yes.
just say, don't have a picture of me on your walls.
I don't have to go in the 35 motorcade convoy. You need a presidency who appreciates the
President
people
Kibaki
who voted
said exactly
for him.
the same thing when he started.
I am different. And I want to tell you, you can hold on to my words that I tell you today. I want to demystify the presidency. I am not seeking the presidency where I'm locked in. I am seeking the presidency who is outgoing.
Let me ask you another thing. If you become President Kenneth of Kenya, and we invite you to our studios yet again regularly, will you come? Because that's another thing. We have these presidential aspirates. Once every 5 years they come in to deal with the media, then they abandon us. Again, the word abandon.
I promise you this. You want to interview me in the course of this year as president? Please feel free. I will do it.
The last word to you, a message to the Kenyan people.
What I would like to tell Kenyans is they have a wonderful opportunity on the 4th of March to elect the right people, the right leaders. We are at a crossroad, but I believe I'm the best choice for the presidency of our country because I have unique abilities in leadership that will push our country and propel our country out of the troubles that we have been into. I am capable of uniting the country. I've never been tribal all my life. I am capable of ensuring our country gains greater heights in the economy and creating opportunities for everybody in our beloved country.
Mr. Peter Kenneth, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John.